Hey Nerd Swag peeps, this is Ashtin D bringing you another review. This one is going to be for Dragonball Kai Saga Episode 1. Now if you don't know what Dragonball Kai is, it's pretty much just a super remaster of Dragon Ball Z. What they did was they redid all the animation to look more modern since Dragon Ball Z came out in the late 80s, early 90s. And they brought back in all the voice actors to redo the voiceovers. So in America it's known as Dragon Ball Z Kai, but in Japan it's known as Dragon Ball Kai. So that's what I'm going to be reviewing. If you haven't seen all the previous episodes, feel free to go and watch those. They're up online. You can go watch them just about anywhere. Now this episode, the very first episode of the Buu Saga, is pretty much, it starts off with a recap of what happened 7 years ago when Gohan beat Cell, and everybody believes that it was Mr. Satan who did it. And he got a city named after him after that whole incident, apparently. And now Gohan is 16 years old, and it shows him first time going to high school, and he's flying on Nimbus towards the city because he lives way out in the mountains. And then we see him land in order to get to school, and there's these people robbing the store or bank. I don't remember what it is, but he goes and he sees that, and he's like, there's no hope for this city. He transforms into a Super Saiyan to cover up his disguise since his hair turns yellow, and stops the robbers and disappears, and nobody knows where he went or who he is. I guess this is the second time this has happened. So, yeah, and then he goes back to school, and he gets introduced by his teacher, meets Videl and these other two people. I can't remember their name. They're not very important to the story. And Videl was already suspicious of Gohan because she saw him at the scene where that happened, where the robbers were at. And so then it cuts to them playing baseball for like PE class or something. And Gohan doesn't know much about it. He knows the rules, but he's never played before. So he is playing outfield, and home run. It's like a sure home run. Gets hit toward his side of the field, and he jumps up about 8 meters in the air. So that kind of like puts everybody like in a weird frenzy to like, what the hell? What is this guy? He just jumped 8 meters in the air and caught the ball. And then he tried his hardest not to throw it hard back to third base because the person was off third because they thought it was going to be a home run. But even him throwing it super light is like really hard for a human being. So when the guy catches it and knocks him over, like sends him flying, and then after that it shows him trying to get home from school, and then Fidel's following him all around and try to like find out what's going on because he told them that he lived way out in the mountains. It's like 5 hours away, so they're like, how the hell is this kid getting to school every day in the morning, on time? Like he'd have to leave like the night before in order to get there. So she follows him, but obviously he escapes because he has like superhuman speed, and he goes around the corner, then he teleports on top of a roof, and then he's flying home, and he's thinking, man, I need to find a way to cover my actions. I need like a suit or something. So he goes to Bulma Briefs, and there he asks Bulma, like, is there any way that she can make him a suit so whenever he wants to fight crime he can without being noticed, nobody sees his face. So she goes ahead and tells him, yeah, just wait here for 2 hours. And then he goes and he talks to Trunks. It's the first time you see Trunks, a little grown up. He's probably about 5 or 6 years old. And it's said that right now is the very beginning of his training. Vegeta says he's old enough now to be trained. So Vegeta is training him in the gravity room that Goku trained on to go to Namek. So there we see their interaction, Gohan and Trunks talking. And it's kind of weird because, future Trunks and future Gohan were really close friends, and now it seems like there's that same kind of relationship, now that Gohan in this current time is older and is with Trunks, it's like they're getting along kind of like with that movie that you saw of future Trunks and the androids and stuff like that. So that's pretty weird, but pretty cool. And then you see Vegeta come out of the gravity room, and he's like, Gohan, you've gotten soft. Even though these are times of peace, you still need to train. Because obviously, in the world of Dragon Ball, there's always something that's going to happen, especially when there's Saiyans around. So you always got to be ready, and Vegeta pretty much says, you're a bitch, you need to train, but it's already a little too late, as we all know. Gohan has not trained for 7 years, and we find out later that his power obviously has been drastically reduced when we get to the tournament. But yeah, so that happens, and then Gohan goes back out. It's Bulma gives him this watch device that has this button that he clicks, and it transforms his clothes into different clothes, kind of like Superman. But Superman has his clothes underneath him. He can take it off whenever. Gohan just pushes a button, and then the clothes just appear over the top of his clothes. So, and then that happens, and he's like, well, on his way home, he's like, well, I don't need to ride on the Nimbus anymore because I can cover up my disguise. So he turns on his watch, puts a suit on, flies off as he's racing the Nimbus, but obviously he blows the Nimbus out of the water. And on his way home, he sees this reckless driver going crazy. So he stops, gets in front of the car, and he's like, you guys need to learn how to drive safe. And they're like, who the hell are you? You're just some weird guy dressed in some stupid uniform trying to be a superhero. And Gohan says, well, obviously I have to come up with a name. And he comes up with the name, the Great Saiyan Man, which we all know. And so he, after that, he gets really mad because the guys start making fun of his name, Great Saiyan Man. They're like, that's a stupid name. So he gets really mad and he stomps on the ground and it creates this huge crater. And it sends like a crack underneath the car, and the front wheel of the car falls in the crack. And these guys are like, oh shit, this guy's crazy. He's freaking super strong. We don't want to mess with this guy. So they start apologizing to him. And then they get in the car and drive off safely. And Gohan's like, oh yeah, they got the message. You know, they're driving safe now. And then Gohan starts his fly home again, and then he gets home, and it shows him the next day, and he starts to go to school. This is where they introduce Goten finally. He's the son of Goku they never showed. He was born right before the Cell games, and then it shows him fly off in his suit, and that's pretty much about it. And they showed, for the preview for the next episode, it shows Goku is talking to Gohan, and Gohan is in the Great Saiyan Man outfit, and Vidal's trying to fight Gohan. And that's pretty much what's going to happen next episode, it looks like. But yeah, you gotta love Dragon Ball Kai. It cuts out all the filler, so it's just straight off the manga, and it doesn't have any filler. So this Great Saiyan Man little epilogue thing that they're doing right here, or not epilogue, but this little preview thing before the Buu Saga gets going, is only going to last probably just till the next episode, and then things are going to get serious. So if you guys liked the video, make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe to Nerd Swag. And until then, peace out. See you guys later.